He was a bishop of Sigarda and a part-time member of the Lunar Council, but he was also a secret member of the demon-worshipping Skurstag cult. Dedicated his life to the restoration of the demon Griselbrand. When Liliana Vess defeated Griselbrand, he grew despondent and suggestible. A demon whispered in his ear, instructing him to dedicate the cult to him instead. That demon who whispered to his ears was known as the Reaper. This demon was among the more powerful demons released from the Hell Vault. After escaping his imprisonment in the Hell Vault, the demon began spreading terror across Innistrad. He survived Avacyn's purge by hiding in caverns deep beneath the cathedral. After Liliana Vess killed Griselbrand, he took the other demon's place as the leader of the Skurstag cult. Welcome. MTG Commander Spotlight, Jerren, Corrupted Bishop, and Ormendal, the Corruptor. Jerren is a 3-to-cast, legendary creature human cleric. With an ability of whenever Jerren, Corrupted Bishop enters the battlefield or another non-token human you control dies, you lose 1 life and create a 1/1 white human creature token. And by paying 2 colorless, target human you control gains lifelink until end of turn. And lastly, at the beginning of your end step, if you have exactly 13 life, you may pay 6. If you do, transform Jerren to Ormendale, the Corruptor. As Jerren transformed into Ormendale, Ormendale has an ability of flying, trample, lifelink, and sacrifice another creature, draw a card. What is our strategy? Our strategy for this deck is to drain our life, as such our life will be exactly 13. When we reach exactly 13 life, we will transform Jerren into Ormendale. With Ormendale's lifelink ability, we will gain tons of life. With flying and trample we can easily pass through to our opponents and dominate the board. Or with Ormendale's Aristocrat ability, we draw cards. With these draw effects, we can able to draw the right pieces to complete the Aristocrat strategy, and outvalue our opponents. Decklist Composition. Here we organize our deck into composition that compels us the right cards to our deck. Okay, let's walk through to the deck list. Mana ramps. First off, we have Dark Ritual, a spell that gives us 3 black mana when cast. With this spell, we can play our commander in turn 1. The next cards are Charcoal Diamond, Arcane Signet, and Leaden Mere. These cards have a common casting cost and that is 2 colorless mana, and they produce black mana while Arcane Signet will give you mana depending on the commander's color identity. The next card can produce us mana when we sacrifice a black or an artifact creature, and that is Soul Devi Adnate. A 2-to-cast creature cleric. When tapped, we sacrifice a creature and add black mana depending on the creature's casting cost. With these, Soul Devi Adnate can easily get us a large amount of black mana, and cast more spells. Crowded Crypt is an artifact card. When tapped it produces black mana. This card has an ability of whenever a creature you control dies, put a corpse counter on Crowded Crypt. And by paying 6 mana, tap, sacrifice Crowded Crypt, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with decay for each corpse counter on Crowded Crypt. With this card, we will be having an army of zombies that can swarm our opponents. Commander's Sphere can tap for 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. And when sacrificed, draw a card. Pristine Talisman. When tapped, add 1 colorless mana and you gain 1 life. While Paradise Plume, when it enters the battlefield, choose a color. Whenever a player casts a spell of the chosen color, you may gain 1 life. And when Paradise Plume is tapped, add 1 mana of the chosen color. With these 2 artifacts, we are gaining life. These will help us gain life after achieving the transformation of Jerren to Ormendale, and brings back to our healthy life total. Let's proceed to draw engines. Morbid Opportunist has the ability of whenever 1 or more other creatures die, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. While Grim Haruspex has an ability of whenever another non-token creature you control dies, draw a card. The similarities with these 2 cards are they can draw us cards, but Morbid Opportunist will trigger once each turn only. It's okay as long we draw cards. Next, we have Harvester of Souls. With an ability of Death Touch and whenever a non-token creature dies, draw a card. While Bloodgift Demon has flying and at the beginning of your upkeep, target player draws a card and loses 1 life. With these 2 demons, we are drawing cards and they can be a big threat on the board as well. Arguel's Bloodfast is a legendary enchantment with an ability of pay 2 life, draw a card and at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 5 or less life, you may transform Arguel's Bloodfast. And when Arguel's Blood Fast transforms into Temple of Eclorence. This card will be a legendary land with an ability to tap, add 1 black mana. And the second ability is to tap, sacrifice a creature, you gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. This card can reduce our life and draw us cards. And when it transforms, taps for mana and gains us life. The next cards will draw us cards but with a downside on each card. These are Ancient Craving, draw 3 cards and lose 3 life. Read the Bones, we scry for 2, draw 2 cards, and we lose 2 life. Foreboding Fruit, draws us 2 cards, loses us 2 life, and Adamant, if at least 3 black mana was spent to cast this spell, create a food token. Food token, when sacrificed we gain 3 life. Deadly Dispute, as an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Draw 2 cards and create a treasure token. Lastly, Village Rites, as an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Draw 2 cards. Next we have single target removals. We have Annihilate, destroy target non-black creature. It can't be regenerated and we draw a card. Contract Killing, destroy target creature and create 2 treasure tokens. Liturgy of Blood, destroy a creature and add 3 black mana. Having these cards we are gaining something in return when we destroy a creature. Feed the Swarm, destroy target creature or enchantment and you lose life equal to its casting cost. It is okay to lose a life to get rid of a creature or enchantment. And with these, we are closer to transforming Jerren into Ormendale. Reckless Spite, destroy 2 non-black creatures and we lose 5 life. Vendetta, destroy target non-black creature. It can't be regenerated. You lose life equal to that creature's toughness. Draining our life but getting rid of powerful creatures. Next, we have Hagra Mauling, which is an MDFC card that has the card on the other side and that is Hagra Broodpit. Hagra Mauling has the ability of this spell costs 1 less to cast if an opponent controls no basic lands. Destroy target creature. While Hagra Broodpit is a land card and has the ability of Hagra Broodpit enters the battlefield tapped. Tap, add black mana. With this card, we can choose whether we will destroy a creature or add a land card to our battlefield. Defile, Grasp of Darkness, and Obnixilus's Cruelty can give us a type of removal that gives the creature a minus counter. These cards are more effective on those having Indestructible. Skirstag Flare is a creature human cleric with an ability of pay 4 mana, tap, sacrifice a human, destroy target creature. Let's proceed to board wipes. Mutilate has the ability of all creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn for each swamp you control. While Deadly Tempest has the ability of destroy all creatures. And with a downside of each player loses life equal to the number of creatures they controlled that were destroyed this way. With these cards, we will wipe the board. Next we have the standalones. Indulgent Tormentor is a creature demon with the ability of flying, and at the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card unless target opponent sacrifices a creature or pays 3 life. Fane, the Broker, has many abilities to decide on and take it to our advantage. The first ability will be, tap, sacrifice a creature, put 2+1/+1 counters on the target creature. This will allow us to pump our best creatures on our battlefield. Fane's second ability is tap, remove a counter from a creature you control, create a treasure token. This ability will give us mana to cast more spells. Fane's third ability is tap, create a 2/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. With this ability, we can create a creature token. And the last ability is to pay 4 mana, untap Fane. With the right mana, we can abuse these abilities. Jadar, Ghoul Caller of Nephalia, has an ability of at the beginning of your end step, if you control no creatures with Decayed, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. With this ability, we will be abusing the Aristocrat strategy that gives us value whether it would draw us cards, drain our opponents, gain us life, or destroy some creatures. Let's proceed to enhancers. The first enhancer card is Mask of Bristlebrand, with the ability of equipped creature has flying and lifelink. And whenever equipped creature dies, you may pay X life, where X is its power. If you do, draw X cards. With an equip cost of 3. Having Mask of Bristlebrand, we will be assured that after accomplishing exactly 13 life and transforming Jerren into Ormendale, we are assured that we will get more life with this equipment attached to one of our creatures. Gift of Doom is an enchantment or a card, with the ability of enchanted creature has Death Touch and Indestructible. This card has an alternative morph cost, its morph cost is sacrificing a creature. And as Gift of Doom is turned face up, you may attach it to a creature. This card will provide Indestructible to our certain key creature and especially to our commander or Mendale. Swiftfoot Boots have the ability of equipped creature has hexproof and haste. With this card will protect our key cards from removing the game. Loxodon Warhammer has the ability of equipped creature gets +3/+0, and has trample and lifelink. This makes our damage dealers easier to pass and get damage to our opponents. And with the lifelink ability, we are gaining life. Proceeding to our enablers. We have Corpse Caller, Doomed Necromancer, and Whisper, Blood Liturgist. They have the same abilities and that is recursion. With these, we can bring back to life our key pieces and claim our victory. Plague Crafter and Demon's Disciple has a common ability, and that is when it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. But Plague Crafter has another ability and that is each player who can't sacrifice, discards a card. While Big Game Hunter has the ability to when it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. It can't be regenerated. There is another casting and this is through Madness. Its Madness costs only 1 black mana. The next creatures can generate tons of creature tokens and these are Zathrid Necromancer, with the ability of whenever Zathrid Necromancer or another human creature you control dies, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. While Magus of the Bridge has the ability of whenever a non-token creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. While Skurstag High Priest has this ability of Morbid, tap 2 untapped creatures you control, create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. Activate only if a creature died this turn. With these cards in play, we can make zombie tokens and demon tokens that can overrun our opponents, and can be our sack outlets that will trigger our Aristocrat strategy. Fathom Fleet Captain is also a token generator. His abilities are Menace, and whenever Fathom Fleet Captain attacks, if you control another non-token pirate, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 2/2 black pirate creature token with Menace. Disciple of Gristlebrand and Bushmeat Poacher has the same abilities which if you sacrifice a creature, you gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. But Bushmeat Poacher has an additional ability and that is to draw a card. With these two, we can gain life by sacrificing a creature. The next cards are worth sacrificing and these are Blood-Soaked Champion that can be returned to our graveyard to the battlefield when raid ability is activated. Dire Fleet Hoarder that can produce treasure when it dies. Novice Occultist that can draw us card when it dies, and Doomed Dissenter that creates a 2/2 black zombie token when it dies. With these cards we getting value out of it. Zulaport Cutthroat has the ability of whenever Zulaport Cutthroat or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. With this ability, we can drain our opponents, and gain tons of life. While Sir Conrad, the Grim has an ability of whenever another creature dies, or a creature card is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature card leaves your graveyard. Sir Conrad, the Grim deals 1 damage to each opponent. The second ability is to pay 2, each player mills a card. With this card, we are dealing more damage through the Aristocrat strategy. Underworld Hermit that gives you tons of squirrel tokens while Abhorrent Overlord gives you tons of harpy tokens. The number of tokens is based on the devotion to black. With these two, we are creating tons of creatures that can be sacrificed or flood the board that can be used as blockers or attackers. Diabolic Tutor and Razakith Reich can search us a specific card that can complete our Aristocrat engine, or a card that can win us the battle. Lastly, we have Liliana's Contract. This card is our alternate win con due to its ability that when Liliana's Contract enters the battlefield, you draw 4 cards and you lose 4 life. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. We are almost done, but first what is our land composition? Let's proceed. Our lands are composed of 30 swamps. A barren moor that can be cycled, a Cabal Pits that can damage ourself with 1 damage, High Market that can tap and we sacrifice a creature we gain 1 life. And Evolving Wilds, Myriad Landscape, and Terramorphic Expanse that can search us basic lands. The total cost is summed up through TCG Player, and the total cost is $33.95. For the full description of the card prices, please visit the link below and change it to TCG price. Prices will change eventually. I would like to thank you all for watching. Please give a like. Press the subscribe button for more updates and share this video to your friends who loves MTG. Once again, thank you.